Unit 2, Integers. To understand what an integer is, first we got to look at where it's used in everyday life. I have two thermometers here. Let's say we go to a nice warm place, and it's about 30 degrees, so it's right up to there. So all the way starting at 0, and we go all the way up to a nice warm temperature of 30. And we are at plus 30 degrees Celsius. So it's really warm. This is a hot, hot day. On the other hand, if we go to a freezingly cold place, maybe, let's say Newfoundland in February, we might end up with a temperature that goes down below the freezing point of water, below 0, and it goes all the way down to minus 10 degrees Celsius. And we know definitely just from our temperatures that 30 degrees is a lot warmer than minus 10 degrees. In fact, if we even looked at something like 5 degrees, we know that's even warmer than minus 10 degrees, even if we only went up to 5 degrees Celsius. Another way it's used in everyday life is in sports. If you look at the statistics from the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are now 2-0 to start the season, you look at the plus and minus. And that has to do with when a player is on the ice. If his team gets scored on when he's on the ice, he loses a point. If he is on the ice when his team scores, even if he's not the one scoring, he goes up a point. And you can see that this is plus 4, plus 3, plus 4, plus 2, down to some of these players here who are at minus 1 right here, and this one's at minus 1 again. This player here is at minus 2, and this player here is at even 0, so he's at 0. So it's used in everyday things. So let's take that thermometer again. Here we have another blank thermometer, and here I have a number line. You've seen number lines before. It looks like this. I'm going to rotate it around so that it's right here, and it's kind of right next to the thermometer. Now if I were to draw some ticks on it, say this is 0. Let's say I wanted to start this as 1. This would be 2. I don't want to go up. I want to go up by just ones. And I would start this at 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6. And in fact, I'm going to move that up a little bit. I'm going to start, I think, and move it so that 0 starts right about there. So I'm going to go up to 6. And on the other side, I'm going to go down. So this is going to be minus 1, so it's getting colder. It's below freezing point of water. Water freezes when you reach 0 degrees, so it's below that. So it's minus 2, it's getting colder. Minus 3, it's getting colder again. Minus 4, it's getting even colder. Now if I were to take that same thermometer and I wanted to join them all together now so that it won't move on me, there we go. I'm going to take my thermometer, I'm going to rotate it around just like that, and I'm going to take my numbers and I'm going to rotate them around just like that, and I'm going to put them exactly where I had them before. And you can see this part here is 0, this part here is 1, and then there's plus 2, plus 3. Sometimes you'll see the plus in front of it. If you don't see it, you can assume it's a plus. Okay, just like that. Alright, now that I've got them all there, I can rotate them if I wanted to, just to make them all right side up. Okay, but I'm not going to do that with these. You get the point where they belong. So I can take another one, and I can paste it right here, and I can choose to start 0 right here if I wish. Or I can choose to start it here, but I'm going to have 0, my middle point there. Then I'm going to go plus 1, plus 2, plus 3 for the next one, plus 4, plus 5, and I could go on and on. That's what those 3 dots mean. And then I go the other way. I'm at minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, and I can go on and on. Now if I compare 2 of the points, like this one right here, let's say I put my happy smiley face, one of them on plus 4. And I put my other one on minus 4. Well, let's check first of all to see how far we are away from the middle, or the 0. So if I jump 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm 4 away. Let's start from the middle again, and let's jump back the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, I am 4 away. So I'm the same distance away from 0, but in opposite directions. You could almost say these two guys are minus 4 and plus 4 are like Batman and the Joker. One of them's good, one of them's bad, and they're opposites of each other. So they're on the other side of them. Here we have another number line. We could start it anywhere. We could start our 0 right here. So don't be fooled by where the 0 starts. It could start at any particular point. Alright, let's look at, put our 0 there, let's look at losing $5. Now, is that a positive or is that a negative? Are you gaining or are you losing? Well, obviously you're losing $5. So this is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, and minus 5. This is plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5. So if you're losing $5, you are at minus $5. If you are gaining 20 pounds, well, you are adding on 20 pounds. So it's plus. If I were to say jump 10 feet in the air, well, you go up. You don't dig yourself into the ground, so you're going up 10 feet. If I spend $50, well, if you spend money, that means it is gone. So you're losing it. So it's minus $50. So you see how you can write some sentences down as plus or minus in terms of integers. Now this is like a combination of 2. So you're going to have to write 2 of them. So you ride the elevator up 6 floors. So what do we write for up 6 floors? Plus 6, because you're going up. And then down 4 floors. So then you go down 4 floors.